1 2 1 2 What's the podcast? 1 2 1 2 What's the podcast? Episode 110. DJ Jerome Baker the third. We're back in the building. Shout out to my man, always available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
What's good? What's good?
And don't charge Abdul.
Happy 420, guys.
Yes,
We
happy
all got-
420.
We all got fucked up, didn't we?
You know what I'm saying? Jerome, you put out a 420 mix.
Jerome was
Nah.
working on 420. He was
Nah,
live
I did
on
like
Twitch.
I did like 9 and I. Yeah, the Twitch thing was super awesome. So I'm
Yeah.
really proud of my set. But my homie, we put out like yacht rock mixes, and he was just very eager to put out the second volume yesterday because the weather was nice.
Yeah.
Weather was beautiful yesterday.
But I was trying to hold off, so that was just like the preview. We're gonna do an actual rollout sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Yesterday was good 420 weather, too. You could be outside, chill out. You know what I mean? You could smoke if you wanted to smoke. I'm not a smoker, but I didn't partake in any of those activities. How about you? We got a resident marijuana consultant.
I definitely partook in all the activities.
That's what's up.
Um,
Real
yep.
420 shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Where does 420 actually come from? It's just because it's Earth Day, and is that
that's a good question. I don't know.
like what does 420 have to do with weed? Is it the time 4:20 p.m. is normally like smoking time? Do we know? Silent Tom might have the knowledge on this.
I think that it's like smoking time because of another, you know what I'm saying, like reason.
Oh,
I think it like has a different, you know.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
because it has something to do with Earth Day, and I'm not sure what Earth Day actually even really is. It's Earth's birthday, or it's just a day we need to be more careful about pollution and shit?
Yeah, for the most part, it's just a day to be mindful of your interactions with Earth, carbon footprint,
Yeah.
et cetera, things of that nature. So that's really what it is. It's just a day that they're able to highlight. They're able to highlight, just the Earth and the good about it because we're doing so much damage to it. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Well, maybe that's why it correlates with weed, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Weed is good. It's good for you.
I'm looking it up right now. I can't find anything.
It is what it is, man. We'll figure it out. We'll do the knowledge. It'll be on our IG posts.
Yeah, we'll make sure we include something about that. Obviously, it was a 420 of just a multitude of reasons. Obviously, marijuana legalization is still kind of a state-by-state basis, depending on where you live. You know what I'm saying? I think by this time next year, it'll be a much more legal experience.
They just need to make it a federal thing, man. It just the games is enough of the games already. Let's just make it a federal mandate and legalize it throughout the whole fucking country.
I mean, I think they're doing that just trying to figure out how to tax it federally, you know?
Well, I think also, you have to be careful because a lot of people are paying attention to who gets those federal dollars and, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure everybody gets a fair slice of the pie when we see so many black and brown individuals who have been incarcerated for marijuana. So you can make it federal tomorrow if you want, but I think there's some pressure to do it the right way. Not saying there's a ton of pressure, but there's pressure. So they need to execute it the right way. I think if you go to me, weed's always been legal, like in New York. Like to me, it's always a legal thing. Like they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like the
I don't
nightclubs,
know, man.
the
I don't
nightclubs
know.
in DC, they've been smoking ever since I've been playing the better clubs in the city. There's always smoking there, and with cops in the club.
Yeah, but if they catch you outside, they have. It just depends on whether or not a cop is having a good day or not.
Or what you look like.
You know what I'm saying? Or what you look like. Because if they pull you over on the street and they feel like being fucking complete dickheads, they could be like, yo, I smell something in your car, and
just
it's illegal.
a way for them to get further along in their investigation. If they walk up to your car and it smells like it's probable cause.
Probable cause. They've used that so many times to just search through individuals' cars and violate their civil rights. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But one thing I do think that needs to happen is when these states do overturn this illegal law, and now where weed is now legal, all these convicts who are in jail, one, need to be released, but two, their records should be expunged, man. That shit needs to be a clean slate. But is it a clean slate? Can you now say when you go for a job and they're like, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Can you say no? You should be able to say no.
I think if they take it off if they release you and take it off your, they should do that.
They should take it off.
But who
They
knows
should.
what people can really see in the background,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Fuck.
So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
We'll
There's
see what
just
happens.
there's a lot of people. I just read the GQ story about Jay-Z's marijuana company,
What's it called? Monogram or something?
Yeah, his story was kind of whatever. It didn't make me want to buy anything from Jay-Z.
I mean, I don't even think Jay-Z smokes.
Jay Z, yeah, he's,
Yeah, no,
if I-
the dude confirms in the story that he smokes, but it's just the story itself. Learning about the inner workings of the company was not attractive. I
mean,
did
I
not
think-
feel like I wanted to go buy
I
some
think
marijuana.
Jay-Z has like contradicted himself. I think on certain songs he said he doesn't smoke, and then other songs he's like, roll up a J to this. I don't
Yeah.
see Jay-Z. I don't see Jay-Z smoking. I think it makes it more like a credible brand if you're like, no, he smokes. No, buy his shit.
yeah.
I think he smokes
I
a
agree.
joint. I think he smokes a joint here and there because they live in California. But at the same time, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like
Exactly.
at the end of the day, just with marijuana being such a popular topic of conversation, and probably one of the last ways that people feel like they have a chance to really make an impact in the business world, I think people. I know that people want it to be a fair shake. That's the one thing I know because it hasn't been a fair shake, and people of all races use marijuana equally, but people of all races are not, held to task by the government equally.
Sure.
So
yeah, but
that's the
I
problem.
do think Jay has made. I mean, he's a businessman, right? So he sees an opening and he sees there's a lane for something like this. I'm not mad at him doing it.
Not doing
you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. If I was to smoke and I wanted to smoke, I would go after what Snoop smokes. Like I'm more likely to listen to what Snoop has to say about weed than what Jay has to say about
That's
weed.
a fact.
I mean, I think there's anybody. I think what's that brand? Cookies. Cookies is coming to DC.
Yeah. Are they
Yeah,
really?
yeah, they're coming to DC.
Okay.
They're coming to 14th Street actually.
They're going right above the where DTLR was on 14th Street next to Soul Cycle, above that
Shit.
bank.
That is Soul Cycle. DTLR
Nah,
used to be
on the corner. That's like what is it, Citibank or Capital One?
Capital
Chase Bank?
One.
Bet-
Yeah.
Above that.
Oh shit. I was walking through Adams Morgan with my wife the other day. We went to go get some coffee, and we walked past this place called Gifted Curators.
Yep.
And I was like, "Yo, what is this spot? It looks like it's like an art gallery or some shit." Without knowing, we walked upstairs, and we had to go through the whole security. The security guard had a hammer on her, and I was like, "Oh, this is not this is not a fucking art gallery." But yeah, sure enough, they got the goods in there. So I don't know. Gifted Curators.
Shout out to
sponsor
Tim.
the show. Tim works there.
Oh, yep.
Oh shit! I wish I had seen him in there, man. Shout out to Tim.
Tim
He's
was
in
his
Colorado.
family.
Colorado or San
San
Francisco.
San Francisco for 420. They sent him out there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Tim, man.
Yeah, shout out Tim. So obviously we live in America. The big news of 420 was the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict. That was, obviously a lot of people across the country just felt a sense they could exhale for a split second, not too long, literally a split second, because justice was served in this particular case. I think a lot of people felt like accountability. Dude was sort of held to task for his actions.
Yeah.
I believe the bail being revoked really helped hammer the point home that he was wrong.
asshole.
That he was wrong. He was being held. Like it was serious. Like you're not just gonna go kick it in Florida for 4 months or like try to flee the country.
We're gonna start
No,
this shit right now.
Yeah, like you're really gonna be sitting in jail until he doesn't get sentenced for 8 weeks. So and the other 3 police officers that were in the that were there that day, I believe their trial started in August. Everything I read points to them trying to cop plea deals before August, so that
cop a plea though?
Yeah. What do you have to give up?
What are they going to cop out on?
who knows? That's all I read was that they're just going to try to basically not take it to trial. You know what I'm saying? They just want to get their sentencing out the way ASAP, and you know what I'm saying. Well, I don't know everything. Aiding and abetting is the main charge that all 3 are at least have against them. That's one charge that each person has is aiding and abetting. So shout out to the 17. I believe she was 17 at the time. She's now 18. I believe her name was Darnella. She was actually the young woman that filmed the video.
Yes.
And so obviously her courage to just to film a murder is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, yesterday was such a day. obviously, his family, thoughts and prayers, and really just African Americans across the country, people of color and people who just are allies who feel like this was wrong and we wanted to get it right once. Had the opportunity for it to be, it was right. The right decision came down.
Yeah.
Not too long after that, we all then were hit with another gut punch. 15-year-old
16.
16-year-old Ma Khia Bryant was shot 4 times by a police officer in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio is interesting. Shout out to the homie Spencer. He's out there these days. But Columbus, Ohio, the policing is very, very racist. It's very much of a redlining situation. But just last week, they flew a helicopter over the black neighborhoods and they spelled out the word CPD as that was the pattern that they flew. So like it literally says CPD over the black parts of town. In Columbus
Police Department.
Columbus Police Department. Yeah, and they were held. They apologized for it. You know what I'm saying? But it was a fake apology because as they were being filmed at the murder scene yesterday, the cops said "Blue Lives Matter" to some of the people that were arguing with them and screaming and yelling at them. And it just goes to show, man, like you only get to excel for a split second.
Yeah.
As an African American person of color and an ally. Before America just lets you know what's really good. You know what I'm saying?
Bigger than America.
She was the one who actually called the police to her
Yes.
house,
She
right?
called the police, bro.
That's crazy.
She
man.
was being attacked by some I believe some
another
other
young lady with a knife.
And
she had a knife.
She called the police. She had that knife trying to defend herself.
Yeah.
The cop just showed up, didn't even ask any questions,
And
just
shot her
started blasting.
in front of her parents.
I don't know if her parents were there. I didn't read the whole story just because the shit fucks me up every
Yeah.
time I read like that. I can't even get myself to watch the video, bro.
I watched the video, but I watched the video by accident. Like,
honestly, these videos are just becoming
Yeah.
so many. There's so many of them. Adam Toledo, 13 years old, Chicago, right? Just last week, a few days ago, got killed by the police. But he had his hands up, bro. These are literally children.
He did have a gun on him, but that's besides the point.
Still, like,
besides the point, he did have a gun.
How many white people do we see with guns?
No,
and
for
they
sure.
They get to walk away. There's
the
nothing.
white kid had an AR-15 and killed 2 people, and they
let him walk.
He walked
they
away.
walked him to the Burger King.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This racism just within the police department needs to stop.
I believe we need to look at it outside of just the police department. It's not. I mean, the police department is a fucked up institution, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But just within the last month, white men, they've killed a black man, right? They killed Dante Wright.
Yep.
Okay. They killed the Asian women in Atlanta.
Yep.
They killed Adam Toledo was a Spanish kid.
Yep.
And they killed the FedEx workers. Remember that? We just saw that just happened?
At the FedEx facility?
They were all Sikhs.
Oh, they were all Sikhs?
They were all Sikhs?
They were all Sikhs.
Wow.
It was like 8 or 9 of them that got killed.
But the whole facility is full of Sikhs.
Was the gentleman, it was a white guy who did it?
It's a white kid.
Yeah, it was a white dude, 19 years old.
19 years old. Legally purchased the gun. His mom called the FBI on him.
A week prior to that.
Well, last year as well. But the FBI did their investigation. Then they came to find out. Then they gave him his gun back. They came over, took the gun, gave him the gun back. Got a gun. So nevertheless, as much as we can blame the police, it's not. It's
white people in general.
It's white men.
It's racism.
It's white men. Like, call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. But like the facts of each one of those cases says that white men have killed black, yellow, brown. The fuck else you got to say?
Yeah.
Men and women. There's nothing. You have Asian women. Man, one of those ladies was over here, single mom by herself. Her family was scared to tell her that she even got killed. You know what I'm saying? You look at Adam Toledo. He's a kid. His hands up.
Yeah,
right?
Hands up, little boy.
Hands up, kid, child,
they
right?
Killed another kid in Tennessee. What's his name? Anthony
Black
Thompson
kid. They lied
Jr.
about him. They lied about him till they found out that the fucking, like, either the
cop
tape
shot
or
himself.
something.
There was a tape.
Yeah, there's a tape, and the cop shot himself. He's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So at this point in time, like, we can call whomever they want to call badge or not. Yo, it's fucking white men. Like
It
it is what it
starts
is.
at the top, man. It starts at the Congress and the Senate and like the governors and all that. I mean, that's where it starts.
I mean, you think about the
Who are
message
still white
Yeah.
people though?
No,
They're
that's what I'm
still
saying.
white
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, for
you,
sure.
you look at the white people at the top and the message they spread and the things that they vote against. It kind of gives you the idea as to what they stand for, right?
And
the
no
public,
consequences
the
for
public,
your actions.
nothing.
You
And
know?
the
But
public
we don't
they
need-
go from that. They take that and they run with it.
But we don't need. I don't need to look at what they are voting for. I can just tell. I can tell what they're not doing. Who they're
Yeah.
not trying to help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who they're not speaking up for. Right? Who they don't crucify when they do things. But white men have been killing people in mass for our entire lives. Like, mind you, the one that I remember most is probably. I mean, earliest one I remember
400 or
is
500 years, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, even like, what's
Yeah.
my man's name? What's Oklahoma? Like 92. Like that dude killed a bunch of kids. and some
Timothy
shit like that.
McVeigh.
McVeigh. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the that's the earliest
that was
I
the,
remember.
That was the bombing, the FBI building bombing or whatever it was.
Killed a bunch of kids though. It was
Yeah.
like a daycare
yeah,
center.
yeah,
or
it
some
was a
shit,
daycare
right?
center inside of the joint.
Exactly. So from that point in time, all we've seen is white men do this. And at the same time, we see people disrespect people of color all day long. When you look at these video games, a lot of these video games, you're like a white dude and you
Yeah.
got to go to like some brown country. You're killing tons of them to try to hold up the American way. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the
You know what I'm
fuck
saying?
outta
Like
here. Yep.
it doesn't compute to me that these are the values and the morals and this is no. And when you hold people to task, they can't say anything. I wanted
Yeah.
my Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was in 1860 fucking
Fuck
whenever.
out of here.
Right.
Fuck
You know what I'm
and
saying?
your
17
amendment.
something. So for me, it's literally the writing is on the wall, man. It's strictly white men. I don't feel no kind of way about like, you know, people that I know personally. We're good. Like we'll have honest conversations. But when you just look at the facts of each one of these cases, the white kid that killed all the people down in North Carolina, the black people at the church, Dylan Roof, he killed 9 black people in a church, bro. You are a fucking devil.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude killed those people in Texas at Walmart. And of course, you're going to have a Spanish guy here or a black guy here. Of course. People
Yeah.
are off. But
Yeah.
the fucking numbers skew towards white men killing this. And then once you give them a badge, it makes the situation even worse. It makes it just feel like, yo, there's literally no hope. And, you know, I feel at one point in time, you can only push people so far. You can only push people so far. I'm not hoping for anything. I'm not proclaiming anything's going to happen. But you can only push people so far before people push back. And when they push back, I don't want to see no Karens on the news complaining. There's that meme going around of that white woman that's being, I don't know if you guys saw it, there's a white woman being handcuffed and there's a black dude driving by her and she's like, help me,
yeah.
help me. And
Yeah,
the black
yeah,
dude's
yeah.
like, nope. He just keeps it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't resist. All you
Yeah.
have to do is comply.
just comply. Just comply.
That's
Right?
their line, right?
That's
what
their
they tell
line.
us.
This is
Yeah.
what you get. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it was a kid. I log on to Facebook once a month. The kid today talking crazy shit. I'm in the comments like, fam, who are you? Like, when did you do all this? He's like, oh my God, Jerome, we knew each other since junior high school. And I'm like, that's cool. But I'm like, this is how you feel? He's like, nah. And I was like, bro, don't even worry about it. I'm going to unfollow you, unfriend you. I haven't seen you in 25 years. Don't
My
worry
life is
about
good
me.
without
Yeah,
you.
we're not friends.
Before he could finish lying,
He was already blocked.
he was already blocked and done with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, man, it just comes down to the biggest lesson we learned is accountability and tough conversations, all that shit. But we may have to go a bit further because we're literally seeing white dudes execute, kill people across the country, and you take them to jail. And my background, my dad didn't love me, all these different fucking sorts of reasons. But at the end of the day, multiple people of color are dead. 8
Right.
people in
Yeah.
Indiana, I think it was Indiana, 8 people in Atlanta. We had 9 people with Dylan Roof, Adam Toledo, Dante Wright, the kid in Tennessee. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Now,
Insanity.
if you took out other people of another race, it'd be crazy. It'd be a world war on people of color if the tables were turned. So as much as it is the police, and they are a huge part of the problem, in general, white men are significant contributors to the problem.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to give white women a pass on this either, to be honest.
Fuck no.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Because they are just as responsible for the bullshit as white men. Because if you think about it, all the shit that we've seen on videos now the fucking Karen with the bird watcher. You know what I'm saying? Trying to call the cops and make up shit. You've seen in the past there've been young black high school players, football players who've been falsely convicted of rape and sexual assault by white women, and years later they've come out and admitted that they were lying. Even Anthony Thompson Jr., the kid that was killed in Tennessee, was dating a white girl, and her mother called the police. Her mother called the cops on Anthony. They showed up at the school, shot him, and killed him. And now she's like, "Oh, I regret calling the police." Fuck you, you fucking bitch.
I think the problem though is that white women have been complicit since the beginning of slavery.
Always.
Like, if you really look at their involvement, they've been complicit since the beginning of slavery. Whether they were using slaves for sex or whether they were just a myriad of reasons, they've never been sympathetic to this, and they shouldn't be, because if they're sympathetic, then their privilege is going to be misutilized, and they're going to feel some sort of pain, whether it's physical or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah. So they're not allies all the time. Not all of them. Obviously, there are allies.
We're not talking about, and we're not also not talking about all white men in general.
No.
I don't think we need to clarify at this point and where we are today when we say white men or white women, and you should be smart enough to understand that we're not talking about everybody. We obviously even have loved people in our lives that we love a lot that are white.
Hell yeah.
We're not talking about those motherfuckers. We're talking about the evil white. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up that we even need to explain this. But I think for the sake of clarity,
I don't think you need to explain.
Just for the sake of clarity, we'll do that.
Listen, man, I think we shouldn't have to, but we did.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
But let's just be honest. Like, we're able to sit here and have an intelligent conversation. People at 35, 40 years old, whatever you are listening to this, and if you really sit back and look at it all, and all you have to do is pick up a book or look at a study, you can see the role that white women have played in helping society get to where it is with people of color. It's not difficult. I was a sociology major. It's not difficult to see. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't feel, if you feel some kind of way, then you need to look in the mirror. If it doesn't, if you don't have that feeling of hate in your heart, this shit not going to affect you. What you need to do though is go ahead, look at your Mima, and look at your cousin that lives in Nashville, and look at all of those types of people and be like, okay, are you willing to have the difficult conversations with them? Because I don't have nobody in my family that I need to have a difficult. My mother's from Newark, New Jersey. She survived the riots. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But I think people who are, and even people of color, like, there's incredible, like, black and Mexicans don't have the best relationships. Blacks and Asians don't have the best relationships. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the views that people hold of each other aren't up to date. They're not current. They're not fair, right?
Yeah.
But we're all minorities. And I'm not saying minorities need to go against white people. I'm just saying, let's look at all of our common interests as humans to try and offset what we have as differences, and let's really have some. We're adults now, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all fucking stop, drop, shut them up, shop, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know. Speaking of Derek Chauvin and this trial and this guilty verdict, bro, and Eddie, what really scares me is I always predicted that it was going to be a guilty verdict. I was like, yo, there's no other way America is going to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he took it to trial. Like,
yeah, I was like, yo, there's no way they're gonna hand a not guilty verdict.
I mean, how could you watch that video and like?
Well, it's happened before, right?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
We all saw Rodney King get the shit beat out of him.
That was a different
you're
time.
Right. You're right. It was almost 30 years ago or something, right? 29 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think what we really need to pay attention to is the sentencing that's going to happen in what I think you said 8 weeks, right? I think that.
So do they have guidelines up there or no?
I believe the guidelines. If he gets, he was found guilty for three charges:
All
second-degree
3 counts.
murder, and then third-degree murder, and then second-degree manslaughter.
Yep.
Like, all them charges carry 40 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Like if they hand this motherfucker 10 to 15 or some
So
shit like
he gotta
that,
do a minimum of 40, like minimum.
like it also depends if they let them run it concurrently, right?
No, I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
think they
but like
should.
if
I think
all
they
three,
should. They
if
should
all
stack
three of
them all up.
those, yeah, if all they'll stack them up.
Yeah, like that motherfucker got to die in jail, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like
I mean, I feel like they're gonna handle him in jail anyways.
yeah, it all depends. I think you could get to anybody in jail, right? Like
I mean,
that's
unless you like
you're in solitary, but
Yeah.
even in solitary, if they want to get to you, they can.
yeah.
It all depends on the jail. Like I don't know what the jails is like in
I mean,
Minnesota.
the guards will get to you if nobody else can. You know
I
what I'm
hope
saying?
so. Guards
Yeah.
do the right thing.
Yeah.
Come on now, do the right thing. So, yeah, but I think that verdict and that sentencing is really where I'm hopeful he gets the max because
I don't
he
think
deserves
I
to
don't
die.
think he'll
He
max
deserves
out.
to die in jail, man.
I don't
But
think they'll max him out, but they'll make an example of him. But I don't think he'll max out.
I'm seeing people like TMZ was just reporting that Brett Favre was a quarterback for who? Green Bay, right? In
Yeah.
Minnesota? Oh,
Yep.
he was a quarterback for Minnesota Vikings, right?
Yep.
At
Yeah.
the end of his career.
Yeah.
And he came out and said that he did not think that Derek Chauvin meant to kill. What was the exact headline? Let me make sure I don't
Well,
fuck this up.
fuck him.
Yeah. Brett Favre believes Derek Chauvin didn't mean to kill George Floyd. Fuck you, Brett Favre. Did you see how long he stood on that man's neck while he had handcuffs on? Were you watching the same video we were?
And pleading for his fucking life.
Crying for his mother?
Yeah, come on.
Like, were you watching the same video? You fucking. Ah, man, I'm so angry. Fuck you, Brett Favre.
yeah.
fuck
for real.
Well,
outta here.
Brett Favre has slowly but surely over the years been making comments to let you know what he really thinks
Yeah.
of people of color. Yeah, he played football and threw football to y'all all day long, but he's not somebody who he does it through the media. He won't come on a show and talk that shit. It's the same with what's my man's name that played Drew Brees. Drew Brees
Yeah.
is the same way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And
You got these
my
little
man from New England, from the Patriots.
Tom Brady.
Same thing.
They're all the
Yep.
same way. They're all the same way. And you know
They're
what? You
fucking
just-
racist, all of them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're racist, right? That's
Racist
what you
white
have to,
men.
you have
Dirty,
to call it.
nasty, racist white men.
You got to call it a spade, right? You got to call it a spade, and I think that's just we live in the times when that's what you have to be held to task. You have to sit people down and explain to them, hey, this is why this is a fucked up point of view. This is outdated, right? Like your privilege has blinded you from seeing this. And that's okay. But I'm here to tell you that the days of that being acceptable are over, right?
Right.
So nevertheless, man,
Man,
rest in
it's all
peace
fucked up. Rest
to the
in peace.
young teenager that was. I saw them trying to call her a young woman, like she's a
children.
child.
Children.
She's a child. So rest in peace, Ma Khia Bryant. Was that her name?
Yeah, Ma Khia Bryant.
Ma Khia Bryant.
I just watched on Instagram some pictures of her, like she had put up of herself doing her hair, and
It's been everywhere
honestly,
today.
I sat there and I had tears coming out of my eyes.
It's
Like,
been
that
everywhere.
Could,
It's been.
Rome. That could have been our daughter. Bro.
Oh yeah. That's been
You know what I'm
everywhere
saying?
today. And the thing is, I watched that one time and I said, you know what, that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's
And-
enough. Like,
and
I
I
can't
just
do
and
it.
I just stayed real low on social media today because
Yeah.
and you have people who are sharing some very ignorant views. You'll sometimes you see I saw somebody that we all know, right? We're not going to say his name because his opinion really is not the best, but he was almost defending her being killed. Right?
You got to tell me
He's-
who this person is off air. So I
yeah, I'll
can
tell you
cut
guys
them out
who
of
he
my
is.
life.
He's somebody we all know. You're gonna run into him. He's gonna kiss your ass when you see him, and I just had to be like, fam, like you're you're trying
He was
to
doing
be
this on
intelligent
Twitter or
on
or
Instagram.
on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah.
Wow.
So
And he
you
was
know
saying she should have got shot.
he was defending the police.
Wow.
In the comments, all his bunch of his people were you know what I'm saying, like
Egging him on.
egging him on.
Like
it just
taking
it
his
was
side, like backing him
yeah
up.
bigging him
Wow.
up for sure. Yes.
Wow.
So, what's a podcast? Episode 110. Hey, man, do the work.
Oh
Hold your
man.
own people accountable, right? Your people can be wrong. Don't be afraid to lose friends. Lord knows I've lost a million friends. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm cool with it. Like, as long as I'm comfortable in who I am and my mother loves me, and I'm cool with letting and holding people accountable. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
So,
gotta hold people accountable.
for
Everybody
sure.
needs to be held accountable for the shit that they do, the shit that they say, and the way that they treat other people.
For sure. What's a podcast? Episode 110. We also want to give a big
The biggest.
the well we're gonna hold off on that, but we want to also say rest in peace to Black Rob. Black
Oh.
Rob, BR. I believe
That
he's from
shit was
Spanish
crazy.
Harlem. Black Rob posted a
Rest in
video
peace.
of encouragement to DMX while DMX was down,
Yes.
and Black
Yes.
Rob looked like he was in a bad place.
Yeah.
He succumbed to, I believe, 4 strokes. He had 4 strokes in the matter of a week, and that's really what
Unbelievable.
kind of got him in the hospital. He was in a bad place financially, so he was crowdfunding money to pay his hospital bills. He ultimately did not meet his crowdfunding goal, so he was trying to move to Atlanta. He was homeless, and he passed away. A couple days ago. A couple days ago. So, rest in peace, Black Rob.
Rest in peace,
Once
Black
again, this
Rob, man.
brought up a lot of intense feelings about Diddy.
He
Yep.
didn't post nothing about it, has he?
I think he did now, but it took him a day or two to post it. But there's a lot of people holding Diddy accountable.
I hold Diddy accountable.
I know our friends the Road podcast.
Okay.
They called it the Bad Boy Curse on their latest episode. I haven't listened to it yet, but I saw the Instagram. They called it the
I'm
Bad
gonna
Boy
go check
Curse.
it out.
Just artists who are passing away, or between Craig Mack, Black
Craig Mack
Rob,
passed away.
Craig Mack passed away like 10 years ago.
a couple
No,
years
he
ago.
didn't.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah. He been passed. Yeah.
Maybe I did know that. Damn.
Right? No, he passed away maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be part of the Bad Boy reunion tour.
March 12th, 2018.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 years.
Okay. Damn. Rest in peace, Craig Mack.
So between Craig Mack, Black Rob, obviously Big,
Yeah.
those are 3 Bad Boy artists that have passed away. And Diddy essentially has not done right by any of them
And what happened to
financially.
and what happened to Shine?
What happened to
Like,
Shine?
He didn't pass away, but he still got done.
I hate the
dirty.
way that Diddy did Shine with different lawyers, right?
Yep.
That's Nas said that a long time ago, right?
Yep.
And I think the problem, and again, it's about holding people to task, right? And I think one of the things hip hop has to remember is all skin folk ain't kinfolk, right?
100%.
If we're all black, it doesn't mean I'm going to do you right because we're black, right? It's a business, right?
Yep.
You need people that are going to look out for your best interests because these record labels, these people are looking out for their best interests.
Period.
That's the way world works. It
Yeah.
sucks that it's that way because that's capitalism at its finest, but fuck it,
Yeah.
man. It is what it is. If you were in the streets, you would operate that way. So there's no reason why you should operate any differently when it comes to the music industry. Nevertheless, rest in peace, Black Rob. Whoa. Came out, I believe, in 2000, 2001. Incredible
Not before
smash.
that, it didn't come out in the 90s.
Nah, I think it was 2000.
Yo, Black Rob was slept on, man. He was one of them lyrical dudes that could really, really paint a picture. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Like when he said something, when he was rhyming and he was telling a story, you could see it happening. And it wasn't a lot of MCs that could pull that off. You know what I mean? There was like your Jay, your Big, Nas, of course, but when he was telling a story, man, in a rhyme, like you could really, really, man. One of my favorite joints from Black Rob is a joint he did with Diddy called what was it called? I Love You, Baby. When he was like, it's all about the Benjamins, true, that be the motto. Ran out of ammo and started throwing bottles. Like that shit, like really, like 97 Egypt's in Philly. I had to back a few motherfuckers down with the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that really, like, when you have nothing else, you're going to go to the bottle.
Yeah.
Back motherfuckers
True indeed.
down.
Yeah, it came out 2000.
Yeah.
And Black
God
Rob,
damn,
obviously, he was on the, he himself, Woe was his song. He also was on the G-Dep Let's Get It, which
Yeah.
to this day is still a banger. You get smack silly, you get smack silly, right? That's how it goes.
Classic,
You know what I'm saying?
classic.
And Black Rob had a bunch of other bangers on the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just sucks again that the artists have to remember, like, it's a business, right? At the end of the day, it's a business. We've talked about Jay and how people feel about him, and it's a business. He's looking to further his business interests. You need to be looking to further yours.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think we've gotten this sort of backlash from people that have signed to Jay like the way we get it from Diddy, man. Like, there's not been a single artist that is signed to Diddy that is part of Bad Boy's roster, past, I don't know about current, but that has been happy with the deals they've gotten with Bad Boy. Is there? Am I wrong? Like,
No.
who from everybody who's in the past has been signed to Bad Boy has had problems with Diddy? You look at Mace. Go down the whole list. Like, every
Everybody.
single person. You know what I'm saying? But here Diddy is always talking about fighting for the creator. Like, nobody wants to hear that shit from you when you're fucking your own people.
Yeah.
Like, just shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about you talking about fighting for the creative's rights and all these things. And, while you're entitled to say what you want, it's just nasty to hear that coming from you, knowing you're already fucking people.
Yeah, super hypocritical.
It's it's mad hypocritical.
But see, the
man.
thing
I
about
can't-
it though is
I
I
can't-
think Diddy lives in a bubble, and he doesn't hear all of that sort of
I think
criticism.
He hears it, man.
Nobody's telling him. Nobody's telling him.
Exactly.
they tell him. He knows about
If you knew better, you would do better, right?
They're telling somebody, but it's not getting back to him.
It's not
He's
getting
not-
to
yeah.
him. But if
Yeah,
you
that's
also
what I'm
look
talking
at him, he's not so much involved in the music industry as much either, right? Like, he's not pulling out artist records.
I mean,
think
what's
people.
a Bad Boy artist right now? Who are Bad Boy artists?
Is French Montana signed to Bad Boy? He had something to do with Bad Boy at one time.
Yeah,
right?
at one time he did. I don't know. French Montana is whatever anyway, though. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm
but
saying?
he's a successful pop
Yeah.
artist, like, so, right?
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, he's whatever. French is whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
French is whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, it's still rest in peace, Black Rob.
Of
Rest
course.
in peace, DMX.
Prayers to both their
obviously,
families and loved
Yeah, their
ones.
families for sure. Harlem lost a lot. So,
Yeah.
just to stay in the hip hop category, so you're gonna whenever you listen to this is fine. But we're recording on Wednesday. Last night, Redman and Method Man on Verzuz.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It might have been second or third best Verzuz.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
I caught bits and pieces of it. I had 100 things happening and couldn't catch it live.
Fantastic Verzuz.
Yeah.
It was a concert. It was not a
It was
Verzuz.
a concert. It was
a
like
concert.
like the
It was
Ghost
a
of
show.
Ray one.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it was just like, oh, we're gonna play a red joint or play a meth joint, but they're each other's hype men.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but the guests they brought out just took it to another level.
Just go ahead and spoil it at this point.
They brought out
think
Keith Murray. They brought out EPMD.
I missed
They
that.
brought
I saw
out
EPMD.
They brought out K Solo. They brought out RZA. RZA came out
Inspector
with
Deck.
energy. Inspector Deck.
Yeah.
What's his name? Street Life, Trife Life. One of them niggas. I don't know.
Life.
True Life.
True
One
Life,
of them
True
niggas.
Life.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just dope, and you just remember how many. And they also had DJ Scratch, who was
DJ Scratch is
DJing.
one of the illest, man.
And so he was able to just add flavor to the joints. He played like the original sample of Method Man, the original sample of Bring the Pain. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you just remember how many records Redman really had. Like There Is a Dark
Yes.
Side and
Yes.
Muddy Waters.
The album. What the album?
What the
too.
album? But when he was doing, I think he did Rockefeller. He did Tonight's the Night. He did Superman Lover. He like Redman joints. You know what I'm saying? And
I love
Rottweiler.
Muddy Waters.
Rockwilder was the last song they did. You know what I'm saying? And they brought out Rockwilder. But Redman is a tremendous host.
Yeah.
Like, he is a great host. If they're in concert, you want to go see those two perform for sure.
Red and Meth are in my top 5 performers
Like
out of
groups?
everybody I've gone to see on a live show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? DMX to me is number 1. Busta Rhymes is number 2. And Red and
Busta
Meth might
Rhymes
be
got crazy energy, man.
crazy
Yeah,
energy.
Busta Rhymes is crazy.
He goes off.
Yeah.
But Red and Meth are right up there.
Yeah.
With that. And you know, I saw Damian Marley perform live at the 930 Club, and I mean he's not hip hop, but that was an amazing fucking show, man. His live performance was off the chain. I can't think of who else that I saw was off the chain, but nah, Red and Meth, both of them are up there for me, man. Shout out to them, and you know they also did a tribute to DMX as well. They played, and everybody put up the X's. It was very heartfelt, man. It was a good moment.
Yeah, they obviously they shout out X, they shout out Black Rob,
Yeah,
it was just it was good. It was just like really hip hop. If you're a hip hop,
That's
I
what
mean
was gonna
shit.
say.
Oh, they did Triumph, and when they did Triumph, like
God damn.
motherfuckers went crazy. Like Kappa did it. I forgot
Yeah.
Kappa came out, right? 'Cause I guess it's
Capadonna.
is Meth's verse then Kappa? No, yeah, whatever. But Deck, Meth,
Yeah.
Kappa all did their verses, and they did that after EPMD did Headbanger. So it was just like
Ooh.
posse cut after posse cut. Yo, shit was phenomenal. So
Yo,
hopefully you saw.
Parrish looked like the old Parrish, man. Came
He
out with
did.
the ill bucket hat on, the fucking varsity jacket.
He been
That
wearing the same
varsity
shit
That shit was
for 30
fire, though.
years.
I want
Yeah.
that jacket.
He been wearing the same shit for 30 years.
It's back.
It's EPMD, yo. They classic, man. Their bucket hats will always they kept
Yeah.
the fresh bucket on. You know what I mean?
Listen, if they get that on the right internet, they can sell a bunch of bucket hats.
I mean,
It'll be a bucket hat
They
summer.
should.
They
I
probably
need a new
still owe
bucket,
their
man.
label an album. They probably still owe their label at least one album.
Eric and Parrish making dollars.
Yes. Also, we want to before we move on, we're saying the music canon. Rest in peace to Prince. It's been 5 years
5 years,
today
huh?
since Prince
Damn.
passed away.
Damn.
You know, there was a lot of streams today on Twitch. A lot of stream. Right now, D Nice is actually doing a Prince set
Tribute. Oh, okay.
tribute. Yeah.
I saw a
I
whole bunch
think-
of Prince rooms on Clubhouse as well. I'm not heavy on Clubhouse like, you know, the early days, but I definitely saw a whole bunch of like Prince related rooms.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you do the knowledge with Prince, you just realize how much of a musician he is.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
to me, he's much more Stevie Wonder than he is Michael Jackson, just with the ability to play multiple instruments.
And he was all
and
self-taught too, right?
write and produce for other people, right? I mean, obviously, his notoriety gained even more traction with the Charlie Murphy story. Like that just
Shit,
helped send it to
yeah.
another level. But when you realize, like, the time, how many people, Sheila E., how many people he was really like writing and producing for, he's a
Yeah.
fucking monster. Like,
He's a legend.
monster. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Like, MJ is my guy all day. But Prince is right there, you know what I'm saying, just in terms of his output. And I think he's just very Stevie Wonder-ish. So rest in peace to Prince. Man, listen to, you know, your favorite Prince song tonight, tribute. Also, it was the Illmatic. It was the 27-year anniversary of Illmatic. It was April 19th. It was approximately
Greatest.
2 days ago.
Greatest piece of music ever in the history of music.
You know, listen, man, that's how Abdul feels. He can have it. It is what it is. Like,
greatest piece of music.
there you go.
That should be an NFT. I'm gonna copy it again.
Listen, Illmatic to me stands the test of times. Great album.
100%.
You know,
yeah.
still tons of things you can listen to and pick up on it every day. So,
Did we do the on this in the previous episode? Did we do the Illmatic versus It Was Written? Or
no, but I mean,
Who you
looking
got,
at it,
Rome?
Illmatic all day long.
It Was Written. Got
I
some
feel like
bangers.
Jerome. Yeah, you're right. I feel like Jerome might be leaning towards It Was Written.
It's kind of a tie. I bought Illmatic the day it came out, so I have it. $8.88 from Best Buy, and yeah, it's but
Tape or CD?
CD. But the
They had
growth.
CDs. You talk about Illmatic. They had CDs in '94.
94. Yeah, I got the CD. Yeah, so I
Okay,
have
yeah,
it.
they
Like,
got
I
CDs.
never, yeah.
I didn't have a CD player.
I had a tape.
I had a tape.
He
in my car.
I just feel like the growth of, because my favorite Nas song is Taken in Blood. Like that, to me, that is just
Yes.
fucking, that's wizardry, right? I love Black Girl Lost. You know, but you can, Illmatic, every song is a 10 out of 10.
Every
So,
song.
Yeah, every
And
song
you know,
is a 10
it
out of 10.
also helps that it only had like 10 songs on it.
But sometimes less is more. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
but that was unheard of at the time too. Like there was nobody else only putting out 10 songs back then.
And remember, the production was incredible,
All
right?
heavyweights.
Large Professor, Pete Rock, Primo, Q-Tip.
Q-Tip,
You only had
Premier,
one guest verse, right? AZ.
AZ. Nah,
Um,
was it?
A-
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, AZ got a deal off that verse,
Yep.
right? Like he got his deal.
AZ came on. He came and ripped that joint though.
It might be the second best guest verse ever behind
Wow.
Nas.
Wow.
Like Nas's verbal intercourse verse
Verbal intercourse. He went
might be the
crazy.
best. Might be the best guest verse ever, and the second best verse would be AZ on "Life's a Bitch." Right?
Illmatic is. It's hard to say there's ever been a perfect album. I feel like Illmatic to me is as close as it gets.
Nah, it's a
Doggy
perfect album.
Doggy Style. Doggy Style's a perfect album. I mean, I'm not saying that Illmatic
Yeah.
isn't, but if you
Yeah.
want to name perfect albums, Illmatic and Doggy Style are probably your two perfect albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Cuban Links starts to trail. It gets a little like it was like one or two songs, and Ready to Die was just I don't know if the subject matter like Big was killing a lot of people, man. He was talking about a lot of shit on there. So
Yeah.
Illmatic, is a perfect album, but
Yeah.
it was great. Straight off the motherfucking pack, niggas don't know how to act. Like, come on, like that's a great
Yeah.
album. So
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's a
you're
great
right.
album, but it's not.
I still take Illmatic over
Yeah.
over It Was Written, but It Was Written is a close second though.
his first two albums were great, right? It's the third
Amazing.
album when I feel the track masters got to him a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That's what I think the problem was on the third album, right?
Shout out
but
to
that's
Nas, man.
shout out to Nas, man.
Come
So
on the show.
Nas is a very well respected business person, and Abdul just mentioned NFTs. So we're living in this era of crypto, uh, of Coinbase and checking your Robinhood and your Webull and
Yeah.
all this other stuff, and and I even know people who are utilizing like Cash App and Venmo. You can buy stocks on Cash App and Venmo now, right? Just it's more of an introductory thing. It's not as pressure filled. It's a lot easier to read
Yeah.
and digest the information, right? So for people who don't have as much experience or don't have somebody helping them out, right? So the big thing this past week is this meme coin called Doge or Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, I think is what it goes by.
Dogecoin. Let's say 4 or 5 months
Dogecoin.
ago. Yeah, 4 or 5 months ago, Dogecoin was a cent, less than a cent sometimes,
Yeah.
5 cents, whatever, right? Dogecoin hit an all-time high of 40 cents. I want to say like Friday,
Yeah.
right? If you would have put your all three stimulus checks into Dogecoin,
It was a
on-
fraction of a cent, actually.
it was a
year
fraction of a
ago.
cent. So if
Yeah.
you would have put all of your money into your three stimulus checks into Dogecoin when it was a fraction of a cent,
Yeah.
on Friday you would have had, I think, $275,000.
Fucking
more than
amazing.
that. I think more than that it was.
I what I saw was 275, but it could have been more. Right? It's been very volatile the past few days. Right now, I believe it's currently sitting at around 30 cents, which is still not bad.
Yeah.
However, if you got out at the right time, if you get out, some people want to hold. There's the hold crew. I mean, right now it's at 29 cents.
Yeah.
I made some cheese. You know what I'm saying? I made
Yeah.
some cheese for sure. You know what I mean? So I've been able to. I sold a little bit off, cashed out. You know what I'm saying? We went to L for lunch yesterday. You know what I'm saying? with our earnings.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
crypto is supposed to be the crypto and NFTs and all this sort of
Yeah.
decentralized currency is supposed to be the wave of the future because one, it is decentralized, so it's not being regulated, and two, with the NFTs, it's supposed to be able to make the playing field fair. So whereas you can't necessarily buy a Picasso, you can buy Bob Ross painting a Picasso with 7 other people and some other shit like that. You know what I mean? So NFTs are still a thing you got to figure out. I know Bobby Hundreds is consistently talking about them. I believe the guy Mike from Linkin Park, he's big into that stuff as well.
Mike
The
Shinoda.
DJ Mike Shinoda. So they're like on Clubhouse a lot talking about this shit,
Yeah.
right? And Clubhouse is what it is. Obviously, we've all seen it kind of fall off a bit in terms of
Yeah.
usage, which could be good now. It could actually get to a place where it's actually a worthwhile platform instead of a bunch of people just throwing shit to the wind.
Yeah.
But NFTs and crypto, they're here for now. They're here for now. Shout out to my
Yeah.
man Spencer. Me and Spencer got in on Bitcoin a minute ago, and you know what I'm saying. I've seen some positive returns after some early investment. So if
I,
that's your thing, man, get into it.
I'm hearing that the next one that everybody's talking about is Safemode, which is like at a thousand fraction of a penny. It's very very low right now, but they're saying that's the one to get in on now on the ground floor, so that when it takes off, you could really make like a historic moment for yourself and create some sort of generational wealth. So I'm not even gonna front, man. I went all the way in on that shit. Not all the way in, but I kind of put my foot in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it dropped a little bit today. Actually, it
That's all
dropped a
right.
lot today. But it's for the long run. I'm just gonna ride it out and see what happens. And the whole like crypto thing and Coinbase and all these wallets they have and all these trading platforms, the shit is mad confusing, right?
Yeah.
Because
Just
it's
stick with one
well, you can't just stick with one, right? Because I mean,
because they
Jerome
all. The,
put me on to Robinhood, which is great for stocks and stuff. But
yep.
but when you're looking at crypto like SafeMoon, it's not available on these trading
So where
platforms
do you
because
find like a trusted place to buy it?
so I started looking around and reading, and I found this thing called Bitmart, like which is another app for crypto. However, the way to buy this crypto is pretty fucking complicated, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't just use cash to do it. You gotta actually use other crypto and to buy SafeMoon. So I pretty much the process was I got this app called Bitmart. I used it to buy other coins, and I bought Bitcoin through Bitmart. They have a service called MoonPay. I bought some Bitcoin through that. Once I got the Bitcoin, I had to convert it to this other coin called USDT. And then that is what I use to purchase SafeMoon. So, I mean, do the knowledge, God. Like, there's videos out there, there's material you can read and all this shit. But, I mean, some of it is very helpful. But once I figured it out, I was like, yo, all right, this is what I'm just going to do. And, I bought a good little chunk of it. So, if this shit hits $1, let's just say
You good?
I'm fucking buying Reebok. Reebok's up for sale, right? Did, did, did
No,
somebody say Reebok is for sale?
not anymore.
Oh well, if they were for sale and that shit hit like $1, I would be able to buy them.
And I feel the same way with I feel the same way with Doge. If Doge hits $1,
Yeah,
you
you
know what I'm
out of here.
saying? I'm
Yeah, listen,
literally and figuratively.
generational wealth, dog. We out of here.
Right. So I think that's what a lot of people are trying to figure
Let's
out with
go
this
to the
crypto
moon.
shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And to the moon is a popular phrase that a
to
lot
the
of people are
moon, baby.
using.
Let's do it.
Um, you just got to stay on top of your stocks. I mean, I do use Robinhood, which a lot of people don't love so much, but I also use a few other apps too, just to kind of like stay on top of things. But Robinhood is very easy to just digest the information. It's very
Yeah,
very
it's
easy.
it's a very good and for especially for beginners. I think
Yeah,
for
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
like
yeah.
me, it's I'm able to digest what's happening and I'm able to understand it. Bitmart is a little bit more complicated, but it's for the more savvy user. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm able to understand a little bit more as to what's happening. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about like just getting used to that sort of thing, right? Because this shit is all foreign. It's like rocket science to me.
Yeah.
Like up until like a couple of months ago, I was never even thinking about investing. Like, what I'm saying? I was investing in sneakers.
Now you put your whole foot in it.
So, but at the same time, you just have to be very careful that you're only putting in what you're willing to lose, and that's how I've been kind of approaching this. Is like, I'm willing to take a few hundred or close to 1,000, and I'll be okay even if I lose it.
Yeah.
I'll move on. I'm not putting everything in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But knock on wood. Let's see if we're able to go to the moon with Safe Moon, man.
Let's
Everybody
hope.
go
I
copy.
hope for
Yeah.
everybody's sake. The
Yeah.
one thing I did not love about Safemode was that it was on Hypebeast, which I just feel like if certain things hit the populate of certain parts of the population, it just
Well,
gets it either gets embraced by the wrong people or the wrong information starts to spread about it. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
wrong information definitely could spread,
Right.
but I do think the way crypto works is the more people that buy it, I believe it ends up getting up. The value rises with more,
For sure.
with the more volume that's bought. So, I mean, if it's on Hypebeast, I hope motherfuckers are getting in now because right now it's at the lowest it's been in a long time. I think. So, yeah, it's like 0.0000.
But that shit might have people
It's like
buying
five
more.
zeros before you get to the number. So, it's
Yeah.
it's really, really a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny.
Again, and the fraction thing is something that you have to be careful with because that's why a lot of people use Robinhood because you can also buy fractions of stocks, fractional stocks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like like you can't like not everybody can afford 10
A s-
Apple stocks,
Yeah.
right? Like that shit is crazy.
Yes.
But but if you can buy a fraction of an Apple stock,
Yes.
then
yes.
that gives people some ownership. And Apple's about to make an earnings call as well too. So if you own stock in Apple, buy
Yeah.
some more
Probably,
get busy. It's about to go up.
Yeah.
Especially after their announcement yesterday too. So but yeah, man, I mean be careful, be smart with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been having conversations about just trying to get my situation together. There's some opportunities presenting themselves. So it's real out there, man. There's a lot of things you gotta be worried about and your finances are truly one of them. You know what I mean? So what's a podcast episode 110? Let's see, what else do we have on this joint? Yeah, okay. So the Sakai Waffles, Phoenix Suns caught away April 27th. Oh, you know what? Before we even get to Sakai, let's talk about Monier. Monier actually postponed the release of
The
their
Jordan 3s,
Jordan
right?
3 for the right reason, I believe. Right?
yes,
They
yes,
did it.
yes,
It was
yes.
supposed to release yesterday, I believe.
Today,
right?
today.
Today. Okay,
Yep.
today. And so, as a result of the verdict in the trial, they did not want to sort of, let that be overshadowed.
Sure.
And so they made the right call. I believe it was the right
I like
call.
the message that they wrote, man. Part of it was it felt like it was a really heartfelt message, and even though sometimes I feel like they might do things maybe for the wrong reason, or I might not agree with everything they're saying. This right here was it felt really heartfelt, and it was the right thing to do. I mean, James Whitner, who's the owner, said this day and this moment cannot be overshadowed by sneakers. We must take the time to take stock of what this moment means for black people and what we must demand from our criminal and justice system. As we say, justice served, more lives are lost. A 15-year-old black girl just lost her life yesterday as the verdict was announced. It is a constant empty feeling for us. Our reality is never easy. And he goes on to say some other words that I really felt like that was from the heart, and I respect that, and I like Monier as a company, as a store, as a brand, actually more because of this. So, if I don't think like a message like this coming from a black man can be to take advantage of the situation. I'm gonna say this was really heartfelt, and it was the right
Genuine.
thing to do, man. It was genuine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It really felt like that, and yeah, I'm glad they moved it to, like, I believe next week, right? April 28th.
Believe next week. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
shout out to Monier. Obviously, there's a disconnect that we need to connect. Fam, we don't know what the issue is, but
Yeah.
Whitner,
Whitner, come on
talk
the
to
show,
us.
man. Come over here. And let's talk about it. We got to get on
Yeah.
the list at Monier. Seriously, this is enough already. Yeah, put us
But
on, man.
obviously, yeah, Sakai Phoenix Suns colorway comes out. Obviously, hey man, if you can get them, cool. If not, it's all good. Like, you know what I mean. I would love to have a pair because they
Somebody
are
get
my
my man
hometown Phoenix
Jerome a
Suns colorway.
size
But
11,
You
please.
you were
Jerome
geeking
needs
on you were
11.
geeking on those for a little while.
Yeah, but my perspective on many things has changed, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
shoes is definitely one
Yeah,
of them. So
yesterday
For
and the
sure.
verdict and what's happening in the world really just
yeah, just
changes your
things.
perspective on what sneakers really mean in the
Yeah,
larger scheme of
and
things, right?
even prior to that, I kind of was just like, yo, my attitude is, yo, if you can get them, get them. If
Yeah.
not, cool. Just I think I read a couple stories, the Nike stuff. Just it just kind of lets you know what we're dealing with. A monster that's just so much bigger than us. Like, hey, man, there's other
Yeah.
things to worry about in this
I
world.
could just go use that money and go cop some more Safe Moon. You know what I mean? I could
You
be at
can
a
say, listen,
a
man.
hundred
There's
million coins or
listen.
whatever of Safe Moon. What do you call
I,
that when you buy? It's not a share. Is it a coin? When you buy
it's a
like
coin. It's a
okay,
coin. Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
It's a coin. So
So
before we even move on, I think, and obviously this is going to be a very Abdul heavy subject,
what's that?
but it's been dominating the world of sports since the weekend. Is the European Super League?
Yeah,
The European Super League was basically the top teams across, I believe, four different leagues. Were going to come together and play each other
yeah,
in their own special league, right?
yeah,
They said it was a sort of an NBA style. It was based on the NBA, and basically, smaller teams were going to be cut out of these opportunities to make money, and there was sort of an arrogance about some of the people involved in the European Super League that basically turned off fans like you've never seen before. Particularly, I feel like a lot of British soccer fans felt disrespected personally. Like they felt like their hearts got ripped out of their chest, and people were burning jerseys and
yeah,
just really, really like going to bat. And there were even some comments where from some team owners and league officials who were like, "Yo, our duty is to make money. Like the good of the game second." I saw a league official say that, and like it was hell after he said that. So
Yeah.
I don't know how Eddie feels about about soccer, American, whatever you're gonna call it. I like soccer; it's cool. I'm not up on it like the way Sir Abdul can speak to it. But if you want to give us some further knowledge, that'd be fantastic.
yeah. My reaction to that was a little bit different than what I think a lot of other fans felt. Um,
Yeah.
the squad I support, Arsenal, was one of the teams that was picked up by the European Soccer Super League,
Of course.
and I really saw it as an opportunity to see my squad play other world class teams. Right, like
Yeah.
for me as a fan, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see them go up against the best around the European leagues. It already happens with Champions League teams where teams that qualify for the Champions League and for the Europa League, you can see a huge um, difference in teams. So you can have a top tier team playing a team that might not be that good or have as much money as like say an Arsenal or a Manchester United or Real Madrid. But anything could happen in a soccer game, right?
Yeah.
But for me to be able to have the opportunity to see my squad play other teams that are of their caliber or better is exciting. So that was my I felt like that would give me an opportunity to see more games where they're
Like good
playing.
games.
Yeah, see, really, like if my squad is playing Sheffield United, who, for example, is at the bottom of the Premier League
It's not
table,
interesting at
I'm
all.
probably not gonna watch it. Like I got a
Yeah.
million and one things happening with my kids, with my
Yeah.
wife, with work, with my life, with y'all. Like everything's happening, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna take my time out of my day unless I am completely free. I'm not gonna sit down and watch an Arsenal versus Sheffield United game. I
Right.
don't fucking care.
Right.
But if Arsenal is playing a Tottenham or a Manchester United, like I know there's a lot at stake here because they got some real dickhead fans over there. And we're sort of dickheads ourselves. So there's that level of competition that just arises when you're playing a well-known rival. So for me, I was excited about seeing that. But man, this league came and went as fast as it got here. Really, rest in peace to the European Super League. It was gone in a day, like literally 24 hours after they announced it.
They canceled it.
It's done. All the teams from England, the 6 teams in the Premier League that were supposed to be part of the European Super League, all dropped out.
How come?
So, well, they just got so much backlash from fans, from the
Other clubs.
UEFA, which is the organization that what is it, European Football Association or something like that, and FIFA that run all the tournaments currently in Europe.
Yeah.
There was just so much backlash from that because when you look at them, right, UEFA and FIFA really own the market share of TV rights, of games being played, all the tournaments that are happening fall under the one umbrella of UEFA or FIFA, right?
Yeah.
So why would you want somebody else coming in and opening up a new tournament and taking away some of your market share? Nah,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen, right? So all this shit that happened because of that, yeah, they killed it. They killed it super quick. So, it is what it is. European leagues are already like 38 to 40 games or something like that. So they have pretty long seasons. So, and then you mix that with Champions League, you mix that with international appearances. So they play a lot of games over a year. It's almost as much as a NBA season when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So, and soccer is really grueling and there's a lot of chances for injury while playing that game. So, yeah, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But it really went away as quickly as it got here, though. So rest. In peace,
it
Super
definitely
League.
was a lot going on with the Super League. It was just a lot of feelings, a lot of strong feelings. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I don't know. I believe. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Carolina Blue Jordan 4. What are the feelings about that?
I like those, man. I'm gonna fuck with those. I like the color. You're not feeling those, Eddie?
Nah, not at all.
Rome, you're a big fours guy. You're fucked. I feel like I've seen you
only wear the black ones.
the black pair, yeah.
Yeah, we're also going to talk about. Well, let's just stay here on fours. The Union LA Jordan 4. It's kind of a brownish gray colorway with some green and some blue on it. The streets are going to go crazy for
There's
these.
two colorways
There's
for that.
two colorways.
I saw 4 colorways for them.
Okay.
Yo, they're saying there's going to be a lot of Union collabs dropping for the 30-year anniversary of Union. So
There's been a lot.
Jordans.
You're talking about shoes. Oh, yeah.
A lot of Jordan collabs. So
I mean, they went crazy with the clothes already, though.
Listen, the summer's about to be hot. I landed that Noah piece that they dropped, the collab with Noah, with the Union man in the front. Like I was able to grab that last week. Shout out to my man Steven who went in to the Union store in LA and grabbed me a large because the shit is sold out on the website. So
shout out to Union. They deserve all of the hype, all of the love.
Yeah.
We'll see this nigger community go crazy. Just one of the highlights of the past 2 weeks on social media. There's a website called Side Talk NYC. They have a clip with the dude he's a comedian. His name is Chippy.
Oh, he's a comedian? I was wondering who this kid was.
Yeah. Chippy.
But he's young as shit, though. How old is he? Looks like he's like a teenager.
Nah, he's like early 20s.
Okay.
Sheck West made a song about him on his last album called Chippy. So, like, Sheck West made Mo Bamba. He also made a song called Chippy.
Well, Sheck West is also African, too.
Yeah, they're all
Ghana, right? He's Ghanaian.
They're all homies. These dudes are all homies.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you get a chance, actually, the video is on the Whats'a podcast.
Hilarious.
The video is on the Whats'a podcast Instagram story. Chippy, yo, he's rolling around Harlem. They're doing a bunch of random stuff, and in every scene, my man shouts out Africa. He is a proud African.
I love it.
Shout out to that. We just had a really good sort of. I'm looking through the DMs. We had some great conversation. There is about maybe Kyrie Irving and his faith causing his absence. Not sure if he what that has to do, but that's pretty tight as well. So there's a lot going on. These air carnivores.
They said
the CDG carnivores.
They said that Kyrie hasn't been playing because he's fasting.
Okay, yeah, you go. So.
Which where Muslims are in the holy month of Ramadan. I believe it's over on May 11th or 12th or something like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's reason enough to not play. I mean, games are at night, right? So already broken fast by then. He's
also like a vegan though. So like he's already like
weak.
Deficient. Yeah, he's
fragile.
A skinny dude. He's a skinny dude. Yeah. But he's one of the best basketball players in a minute. Like Kyrie's an incredible basketball player. So you never know. Everybody's situation is different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I
But
don't know, man. I feel like we've seen. I mean, everybody's situation is different. You're right, but Hakeem Olajuwon, what was one of the well-known Muslim athletes early in the NBA. He was fasting. He would show up for practice. He played in every game. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, another one. You know what I mean? Devout Muslim. They
listen,
fasted. They played games, and not to mention like tons of African and Middle Eastern soccer players who've played in the World Cup during Ramadan, all that. But
Yeah.
listen, I'm not here to judge anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyrie. If welcome to Islam. If you are a Muslim indeed, and even if you're not, man, shout out to you anyway. It seems like I've heard him speak a few times, and I like the things that he says. So shout out to him, man. But if he is a Muslim, come on the show. Let's let's talk about it, Kyrie.
side note, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Yeah.
Prior to that, known as Chris Jackson. Yo,
Legend.
Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Oh
Legend.
my God.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Listen,
Yeah.
walking,
in more ways than one. And not just for
walking
basketball,
bucket.
off the court too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But on the court though,
He was a
walking
beast.
bucket. Oh,
Where did he play? Denver? No.
Denver, and I think maybe some time in Sacramento. I don't
Sacramento,
recall,
right? Something
but
like that. Okay.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to be of a certain age range to even understand.
Also,
what
one of
he
the
did.
hardest names in basketball, I think. Mahmoud Abdul
Mahmoud
Rauf.
Abdul
That
Rauf.
just sounds like, yo, I'm a fucking animal. You're
And
not
that
gonna
was
fuck with me.
that was born out of Chris Jackson.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
what
how
makes
did
it
you
even
get
iller.
there? How
He
did
went
you get to
from Chris
Mahmoud
Jackson
Abdul Rauf?
to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
I'm
Like,
gonna fuck you up.
oh my God.
That's a hard body.
I need to go. I need Mitchell and Ness to make that jersey.
Yo,
man. If Mitchell and
straight
Ness,
up and down.
I'll do push-ups right now if Mitchell and Ness makes that
I'm
jersey.
do triangle push-ups right now,
Exactly.
diamond shape.
Them jail
You know what I'm
joints.
saying?
You know what I'm
We
saying?
do like 3 of them bitches, and then shout out to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, man.
Yeah,
I
we
hope
had we
you're
had the
doing
point.
well.
We had the point of the show where we say, "What is Abdul watching?"
Yo, lot of TV, dog. Lot of TV, man. I started to watch this actually a 30-minute movie on Netflix called Two Distant Strangers. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's with Joey Badass, and it's kind of like in the time we're in today, right? Like it's a movie where he wakes up every day with a chick he met the night before, walks out of the apartment, something goes wrong with a police officer, and the police officer kills him. And then right when that happens, he wakes up again, and it's like Groundhog Day with the same shit, different situation. Nothing he can do can stop this white police officer from killing him. And it just goes to show you like what really is happening in America, especially for black and brown people, man. It's really, really rough. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do to avoid getting fucked up by the police. You can comply all you want. They're still going to find a way to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You can not do what they want. You're still going to get fucked up. Like, there's no way to really win right now where we are. But check that out. It's on Netflix. It's 30 minutes. I did not love it only because the message was just so hard to watch. You know what I mean? But shout out to Joey Badass, man. His acting skills are on point. You know what I mean? He's been in a few TV shows. He was on Mr. Robot early.
Mr. Robot used to be that crack first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
That
first
crack.
2 seasons. And he was in the first 2 seasons. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that, Jerome, but Joey Badass was on there. I watched this series called The Serpent, also on Netflix, and it's based on a true story of this dude who lived in Thailand and pretty much preyed in the 60s and 70s, but preyed on tourists from Europe and from Australia and from America that were visiting. He would somehow find a way to scam them and take their traveler's checks and end up killing a few people. But very, very interesting. 8 episodes. I went through that shit in like 3 days. So that's a good show, man. I suggest watching that. I'm not going to give away too much of it. Other than that, City on the Hill on Showtime. I finished the first season. I started the second season, went through the first episode, and then I got sidetracked by the serpent. So now I'm coming back to. I'm gonna come back and finish catch up on City on a Hill. Um, what else came up? Godfather Harlem second season started. I got
that
it on
shit
my.
was
I got
fire.
it. I got it on my DVR right now, man. So
I watched it earlier.
I'm gonna watch that shit tonight.
Yeah.
Also, Snowfall. Um, season finale is tonight actually. So when we're done taping, I'm gonna go watch that shit. But a lot of shit happening. We're gonna talk about it next week, man. Um, what else I got? Law and Order, Organized Crime. I don't know if I spoke about that last week, but Organized Crime is a new um, kind of Law and Order series in the family of Law and Order. This is Organized Crime with where Detective Elliot Stabler comes back, and I like it, man. It's growing on me. The first episode was a little bit slow, but and it was also kind of joined with Special Victims Unit, which I'm not a big fan of today. But listen, go watch it and make up your own mind. So, yeah, that's all I got for TV, man. But a lot of people hit us up. They really like the QAnon documentary on HBO that we were talking about, um, and yeah. So I've been talking to a few people from the show that have hit me up about Snowfall. We're probably gonna have to do a little bit more of a deep dive on after the finale happens tonight, just to kind of get people caught up to speed, man.
Yeah, let's have some special guests. It would never hurt, you
Yeah,
know. We'll have some special
exactly.
guests. We'll have a special episode of What's the Podcast, maybe just like a YouTube only, and it'll be
Yeah,
a snowfall breakdown with some
people that
listeners.
listen with some
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
We'll set if you're a fan of Snowfall, hit the DM,
yeah.
and we'll set up
We
something.
already got it. We already got a bunch of people in our DMs
Okay,
talking
bet.
about it.
Yeah.
So we'll just try to line that up. Hopefully we can make some time for it next week
It's
or
been
something like
good. It's
that.
been good.
Yeah.
Listen, What's the Podcast episode 110? It's been fantastic. You know, it's a lot going on in the country, but you know, stay prayed up. Keep your loved ones close. You know what I'm saying? And we'll shout out to my man, always available, hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
Peace.
My man, Don't Charge Abdul.
Hold them accountable.
Talk to your white friends, okay? This is DJ Jerome Bacon III. Do remember you listen to What's a Podcast on whatsapodcast.live. And you can check us out on YouTube where you're watching us right now, youtube.com/What's a Podcast. Episode 110. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.